have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order when we are successful, and we will be. We have a real chance at this new world order.
I'm under arrest. Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Так вот, не первый раз я вам говорю, что вы провалились.
Well, now for the first time I can tell you that you're a disaster.
So they said they were walking out the press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
And we can make sure that the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution are best utilized to provide us with better lives. In short, we need a great reset.
I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Well, I am back after a couple of days off. Sorry about that. I had a bit of a break. I hope you all managed to catch my last episode with Chrissy Mayer. I was very excited to have that interview with her. Well, it wasn't really an interview. It was just like an excuse to chat with her. And she's just at Turning Point USA. She was invited for the first time this year. So she's just there now. She just bumped into Lauren Southern. I can see there on Twitter. But they last 2 days they had Content House, which is a new thing that I hadn't seen before. It's like they get all these content creators in one mass. It was this beautiful house, and they all get together and they just do 40. They actually went for 58 hours, but it was supposed to be a 48-hour live stream, and it went over time, but like it was great because they just had all these different people on rotation. It was awesome. I can see that we have some people here already, and do you know what's awesome? We've got people. The Twitter thing works. See that? See the little X thing in the corner? We've got Daniel Rood is here. Thank you very much for being here. Now, which one am I going to bring up? He's just chatting there with my mom is here. Hi, Mom. How are you? How you doing? We have Daniel Rood. Thank you very much for the donation. Dan sent me $2 this morning. Had a couple dollars left over for what is it? Had a couple of dollars left over after Christmas shopping, and I thought I'd send them your way. Wish I could afford more, but I'm a poor hillbilly. So am I. Don't worry about it, dude. That's cool. I really appreciate you thinking of me. Like anything counts, man. Like I don't get many donations. I'm not monetized yet. So I'm just going to put this thing up on the screen here. If you're feeling generous, it is Christmas. I am fucking poor. I spent all my bills, ended up having to borrow money off my mother. Thank you, Mum. But just so I could get some food and stuff, because like when you get like at the end of the year and everything cleans you out, and just all the massive bills come at once, it was just a pain in the ass. So yeah, if you could, if you're feeling generous this Christmas, go to danielclancy.live/donate, and you can give me some money there if you like, but you don't have to do that. It's not necessary. Let me get to some more of these messages. Look, we've got some more people here on Twitter. I love that Twitter is finally now. It says join. They haven't actually typed that out. That just means they are here viewing the thing, which is cool because what I used to do is I used to cut it off Twitter before. I used to do like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then because no one really does watch over there, but I know I've got at least one, maybe 2 or 3 people that will actually only watch there. And now that I've got the chats integrated, I'm happy to do it. But what else was I gonna? Today's episode was about disclosure. The UFO disclosure topic. They've got a lot of hubbub in the media about this at the moment, and I'm not sure how I feel about it because I am one hand I definitely want disclosure, but I just don't think it's right around the corner like the mainstream media are suggesting it is, and I don't automatically believe everything I'm told on the television anyway, but but I believe in people like David Fravor and what's the other one? Ryan Graves. They had the UAP disclosure thing in part. What's it called in Congress the other month? That was a big waste of time as far as I'm concerned because that's just going to push all of these private aerospace contractors just further under. But we've got some. I think Tim Burchett he's a good guy. I never knew who he was before that. He's supposedly the poorest guy in Congress, which is probably what makes him sort of likable. I don't know. There's not many likable people in Congress. Speaking of Congress, we've got a whole lot of trouble happening in the Senate staff. What is it? The Senate hearing. What is it? Senate hearing room. Yeah, Senate hearing room. There was some stuff caught in there the other night. So I'm going to go into that. I'm just waiting for. Here we go. Finally, he's here. Cosmic Marauder. We have him. Where are you? Add to the stage. There we are. How you doing?
Oh man, massive technical difficulties, but I'm excited to be here. I'm
Thanks,
recovering
bro.
from being sick, so I have a little bit
What
of a
was wrong?
frog in my throat. I don't know, man. Probably the COVID, aka common cold, but I have no idea
Awesome.
what was wrong.
That's because you guys, it's freezing over there at the moment, isn't it? Well, I guess not Albuquerque.
Yeah. I don't want to get us kicked off of anywhere. I don't know if medical misinfo is still a thing. Is it still a thing on YouTube?
Medical misinfo is, but yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I have the cold.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Stick with that.
Daniel says, I feel you on the food prices. It's gotten nuts. I'm making a big batch of soup tomorrow. Then I'll freeze a bunch of it. Good way to stretch 50 to. Yeah. It's hot over here at the moment. It's really hot. Like,
is it
been
summertime?
Up over, yeah. It's like it's been up over 100 degrees for a few days and that. It feels really hot right now, but if I turn on my air conditioning, it's really noisy, so you won't be able to hear anything. But
are energy bills pretty outrageous there?
Yes, it's insane. I have to. I'm going through the ombudsman with that at the moment. It's a nightmare. But yeah. How are you other than that? Like, have you been following Twitter the last couple of days? Did you see the thing on the Senate hearing room?
Oh, did I see it? I accidentally saw it even, if you will. If you catch what I saw almost the whole thing. And that's why you got to be careful on Twitter. You'll just fuck around and click on a Twitter post and you're just like, whoa, all right.
Well, no. I mean, it's like the top trending post. Like, it's top trending stuff right now.
But it was like uncensored for a second.
Oh, was it?
I feel like it was close to uncensored for a second.
Really? So because I've got the article up here, but this is the guy here, Aiden. This young chap here got busted in the Senate hearing room. He is, what is it? Let's read this. I can confirm that the Senator Cardin, how do I say that? Senator Ben Cardin.
Yeah.
Cardin, yeah. Staffer who who filmed himself having sex in the Senate hearing room is this guy, Aiden Mace Katropsky. Is that Shiropsky? Whatever.
Something like that.
Looks Polish. He's also the same guy who yelled "Free Palestine" at Jewish Representative Max Miller on Wednesday. So yeah, so what?
I love how they all have a LinkedIn whenever they get busted in their scandals. It's really funny to me.
Yeah, so I don't know how they tracked it down to this guy, but I'm guessing they just. Oh, that's right, because he wrote a post about it. Where is it? Where's
Didn't he
the
make an
post?
Instagram post even?
No, it's a LinkedIn post.
Oh,
It's really
his apology.
kind of. Where is it? No. Oh yeah, Senate hearing room.
I can't. I don't like what normally happens there is what I want to know now. Like you only see those rooms when they're on TV. Like what do they do?
Is it breaking? Aiden Mace Chukrovsky, whatever his name is, posts a statement on LinkedIn after having sex in the Senate hearing room where he says that he is being attacked for who I love to pursue a political agenda.
There's so many jokes and past references to callboys, and it's
I would never disrespect my workplace. Ah, God, this has been such a difficult time for me. As I have been attacked for who I love to pursue a political agenda, while some of my actions in the past.
How high do you have to be in that hearing room to do that? You're on poppers and meth. Probably.
Well, some of my actions in the past have shown poor judgment. I love my job. Would never disrespect my workplace. Any attempts to characterize my actions otherwise are fabricated, and I'll be exploring what legal options are available to me in these matters. As for the accusations regarding Congressman Max Miller, I have never seen the congressman. I had no opportunity. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, the Democrats they're trying to say that it's deep fakes, Russian deep fakes.
Oh no, there's no deep fake in any of that.
I'll bring up the article in a second.
It's a real insert erection, if you ask me. Somebody should go to jail for it.
Hold on.
It's my terrible
There's
joke.
been a nasty call going around from the Kung flu. Yeah. That has been going around too. Yeah. That horrible thing is going around in Australia. We have my mother, she's over in WA, Western. She's on the other side of the country from where I am. I'm in Sydney. She's near she's like 400 kilometers away from Perth.
Oh, I got to tell you about my new favorite Netflix show right now. It's Australia related.
Yeah.
I'm watching the show called Muster Dogs. Have you heard about this?
I think I might have heard of that.
It's like they take these 5 champion breed puppies and they raise them in different parts of Australia. And they're competing to see. My
mother's a dog breeder. She does like Shih Tzus though. It's like it's there's a lot of crazy people that she's discovered. Unfortunately discovered in this. It's a bit of a racket when you get into those like what do they call them, the toy dogs, the handbag dogs. It's not just them either, it's also like Dachshunds as well. You know, the sausage dogs are like that. I suppose they kind of fit into the toy category, but there's a lot of real crazy people there, so it's full of trouble. But yeah, Daniel Reed says, funny thing is I never worry about getting sick like I take zero precautions whatsoever, and I almost never get sick. Yeah, it's one of them things. Like I don't really take a whole lot of. I don't go crazy about it. I mean, I don't try and get sick, but I'm not like a super germaphobe, and I mean, I used to get sick a whole lot more than I do now, but like I have problems from since I got the jabs. That's different.
I've been
Rohan
kind of sick a
45 or
lot this
Rowan.
year.
I think I'm not seen you here before. Maybe I have. I think I have. I'm sorry if I have before and I've forgotten. Thanks for the message. Laura Luma has been dropping some spice on this one. Oh yeah, on the
She's
the
crazy
Senate
though,
hearing.
right? We could agree that she's a little deranged.
She's a little deranged. I do. She does come with the tea though. Like she comes with the spice.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like she's interesting to watch. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with how she does everything. Yeah, Ryan says she's nuts. She is. Like I mean, she's kind of crazy, but she does
Catch
come with some
22.
interesting. Yeah, she comes with them. Like what was she talking about the other day? And it's something that a lot of people were reporting on before her, but she was going on about the Zelensky allegedly moving to Vero Beach.
Is that in Florida?
In Florida, yeah.
Okay.
Because there's, I can probably pull it up. There's a image going around of like a citizenship thing with his face on it, and it looks real, it looks legit, but it could be easily faked, but it does look legitimate. I've literally
He's
zero
an asset if that happens.
Right. Well, I mean, Russia's won, and Russia won everything all their objectives. They've got the whole Donbass region or whatever it is.
But when was the last time we gave like public exile to a world leader on a stage like this? Like going back to him being an actor, I bet you he was a CIA plant.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a mystery. I think that's fairly well understood, isn't it? That he's a CIA plant. Is he not?
I hope so. I hope so.
I mean, that's what I've always assumed. Daniel Rugg says, I have literally zero attacks at him for who he is. He's only getting criticized for getting Exactly. Exactly. I mean, when you get caught doing shit like this, let's have a look. I'll just put it into this tab. Okay. Daily Caller. I don't know. Can I show this?
I am probably.
I'll scroll down. Oh no.
No, yeah, don't do
it. It's censored though. How do I get the readers only?
You would have been okay on Twitch 2 days ago, but not today.
Yeah, I'm on Twitch right now as well.
Of course.
Hey, Grifty, what's going on? I can be on in like 10ish if you still want. Oh, yeah, I forgot to send him the link. Grifty's going to drop by as well. Invite.
Oh, gosh.
Where's
it's going to be a real shit
Hold on, I'll
show
get this
when
off
that
the screen.
happens.
I'll get this. I'll get that off the screen. Sorry, I'm just sending Grifty the link.
So why is everybody excited about Disclosure again this week? Why is it back in the news?
Read this. I'm just going to read this article quickly off screen because it's only short and yeah, you're right. I can't show that. That's it's basically gay porn. Leaked amateur pornography shows a congressional staffer having anal sex with an unknown man in the Senate hearing room. Video obtained by the Daily Caller shows. The alleged staffer can also be seen in a photo, naked on all fours, looking back at the camera on the table where senators often sit to ask questions during a hearing. It appears to be unprotected. A source identified the room to the Daily Caller as the Senate Room Heart 216, the Judiciary Room. The caller blurred out his face and his cock because his identity has not been confirmed. Yeah, they didn't blur out really quite enough, though, did they?
No, not at all. Not for me. It couldn't just be normal sex, of course. It has to be like the most graphic degenerate shot that you could get in a Senate hearing room.
It's so funny. The caller has not confirmed the identities of either party in the amateur point. Well, Twitter has.
Oh yeah, we've confirmed.
Like within 5 minutes it happened. Daily Caller reviewed the chat where the video leaked and confirmed it was shared in a private group for gay men in politics. Oh, so this was like a DC private group.
Ew.
That's funny.
Actually, they go to comment ping pong a lot. Just gonna say it.
Is that
they know James?
That's what it was called. Yeah, wasn't it called Comet, or was it Comet Ping Pong and Pizza?
Comment ping pong. Yeah, like something. You know,
it was a pizza shop, wasn't it?
It was a pizza shop.
Yeah,
allegedly.
So
I'm gonna grab some more hot water really quick.
Hot water?
Yeah, for my tea. Tea. Try to keep the throat clear.
I thought you meant you just had hot water on its own. Daniel Rude, they're never going to release that list, and if they did, it would certainly be what list? Oh, hold on. What have I missed? Hold on. What have I missed? My mom has Dachshunds. They're cute, but they're little psychopaths like Laura. That's funny. Never going to release the list, and if they did, it would certainly be a fake. I don't understand what list you mean, Dan, but let me know.
On the Epstein list.
Comet Ping Pong Pizza, Aristotle King Yeti. Oh, I think you're over from Toasty's channel, isn't it? Maybe. If not, welcome anyway.
Dude, how about the Etsy shit? Have you seen
that's what he's talking about, the Epstein list. What are you talking about?
Etsy.com. What's been happening this week with that?
No, what's going on with that?
Oh, dude, you should look at it really quick. But there's some stuff going on, much like the Wayfair thing. There's like $3,000, $4,000 pictures of kids with pizza and like mega link files.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I don't know if I want to go into that on here.
Pretty nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know what you mean, though.
I don't know if I want to do that on here. I'll look at it later, but I don't want to show that on here. Like that's. I don't even know if I'll look at it later. James Alphonse has bragged about keeping his organic tomato sauce on site at Comet Ping Pong Pizza in a basement under the restaurant. All right. I don't want to go too far into that topic. Like, I really don't. I know in a metro.
So good. We're moving forward.
Interview. Yeah, let's move forward. The topic today is supposed to be about disclosure, and all we talked about is anal sex in the Senate hearing room, and like now we're getting into like even darker shit. So let's not do that. And Grifty looks like he's about to hop on with us any moment. So I didn't really. The thing is about today, right? I didn't get a whole lot of time to prepare. Like I didn't pull up a whole heap of shit. And the things I did bring up are like they're really long. So have we all seen the stuff about like the latest interviews with David Grush and Tucker Carlson?
I haven't seen any of it just because this story kind of pisses me off, the UAP shit, just overall. Same. But yeah,
tell us why it pisses you off. Because it pisses me off too.
It's just that for like the longest time, this was kind of the holy grail of a lot of conspiracy theories, and people were really excited about it for the 90s, going through the 2000s. And then, COVID hits, and then our worlds get flipped upside down. A lot of things get proven correct or false that we used to hold true. And then they bust out the UAP stuff in the middle of COVID, where public distrust is at like an all-time high. So
did they do that in the middle of COVID?
I feel like it started happening in COVID, at least for me. When I
think you might be right. Actually, you might be right about that, because I do remember having a conversation like something like this at work one day just before we all went into lockdowns. We all had to go work from home, and I was having a conversation in the office. Like, I was just like, I'm going to test this out in like normal people land, see what reaction I get. And what I said then was like, well, right now they're testing the COVID psyop, and that's all I'll say. But next they're gonna do the UFO psyop, and they're already trying it. They're already sort of testing the waters with like, because back then that's when Tucker Carlson had first. He was still working for Fox. He just started reporting on it. Different, like he picked up like the Nimitz sighting and like the Tic Tac and the gimbal.
Yeah.
Which were very like, I don't know if you guys have seen them, but they're bits of military footage. They're very unremarkable. Like, as far as I'm concerned, they're not impressive at all. One of them, the gimbal one, sort of looks somewhat interesting because it has a strange sort of like very stable maneuver where it like sort of shifts orientation in the middle of the air and just sort of, I don't know, it's weird, but like, yeah, Nick, it's nothing crazy. Like, we haven't had anything come like presented to us that is, it just that corroborates any of the stories. Like, we've got David Grush going out there saying he knows that he knows personally about these programs where they've recovered craft, and he calls them biologics. I don't like that he uses that word. Why can't he just say alien bodies? Like, why does he have to say biologics? That was never a word that anyone ever used before now. Now people use it all the time. Biologics. Okay. So, like, what? That could be like a plant, like a bit of vegetation. Like, what? That's biologics.
He leaves it pretty vague on purpose.
Yeah,
it's just
right.
a made up like euphemism.
Yeah, and so like he's saying that there's at least 9, and that they go back for like quite a while. I think some of them were supposedly. I might be conflating the story with like other people, but I think supposedly one of them's from like an archaeological dig, indicating it's like really, really old. But again, we just get all these different stories. So many different stories. Why don't I bring up a little video on this? I'll bring up The Hill. I like The Hill lately. I know they're not like, as far as like, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. I don't believe everything they say. They're kind of a bit mainstream newsy, but like they're good for like short form videos anyway. Like at least to gauge gauge where the conversation is at. What have we got here?
UFO whistleblower David Grush.
Because these guys, this guy here, he has the best reactions to all this shit. Yeah, mod from Toasty's channel. Cool, thanks. Welcome for coming.
Who's Toasty?
Thanks for coming. Welcome here. Toasty is she's a guest that I had on the other like a couple of times now, but she was someone that when I was on Chrissy Mayer's member stream, she was in the audience there, and then she added me on Twitter from there and invited me on her show a couple of times, and yeah, just someone I met through the YouTubes. But yeah, welcome, King Yeti. I think they just call him Yeti, so I'm just going to call you Yeti.
Aristocock.
Aristocock, yeah.
That's funny.
This guy here, Robbie Suave, he's like, he's on my side pretty much. Everything, like, he's like, where's the fucking evidence?
Has doubled down on some
Can you hear this?
claims, maybe the most
It's a little low.
that the U.S. government has killed people
he has no
tried to go
shoulders.
public with stories about non-human spacecraft, telling News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas last night. Let's watch.
You recently did an interview with Joe Rogan on his podcast, and you said something that really...
What's up, bro?
What's up, guys?
What's up,
How you doing?
Pretty good. I got a bone to pick, Cosmic. Why is it going to be a shit show just because I'm here?
Well,
is that what you said?
Yeah, probably.
Why?
Well, I'm always half of a shit show, at least. So between the two of y'all, we should make up the other half.
I thought there was like some beef or something.
No. Cosmic's my boy.
Oh, good.
It's been a minute.
Oh, fuck, I should have known about that for him.
I don't know. Apparently, I'm pissing everybody off lately because I'm ready to declare the victory on the Bud Light thing, and everybody else is like, no, destroy them. And I'm like, you're not gonna.
Oh, interesting. Like, hold on. So you're talking about the whole thing because recently they, what is it? The UFC have taken on Bud Light as a sponsor, right?
Yeah.
Is this what is? And so that is essentially, and now Tim Pool's argument, it's not his argument, but he did make this argument as well, that is in some way a win in terms of the global argument, really, in terms of woke versus non-woke, because they've shifted resources from sponsoring woke shit to non-woke shit. And so essentially that's a win as opposed to collapsing the company that was sponsoring the woke stuff. And I can totally agree and see that argument. Like, I don't see what the issue is.
That's exactly where I'm coming from. And it's actually Tim picked it up. It's actually Sean Strickland's argument.
Is it
MMA fighter?
Is that he's the actual justice warrior? Is it?
No,
is
he's a UFC fighter.
Oh, who's the fucking
particularly?
Who am I thinking of? Who did you? Who am I thinking? Who's the actual justice warrior? That's Sam. Isn't it a similar name?
I forget his actual name.
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
I'm not a
anyway,
fan.
Sean Strickland's argument. Go on.
Yeah, that's Sean Strickland's argument. Was basically like, look, they're paying UFC. UFC pays me. Like, anything I say, they're putting their money behind, and he says a lot. He says quite a lot. So I'm a big fan. And when Tim did a good job of breaking down the numbers of it. You know, when they're talking about a 30% loss of sales, that's a year-over-year number. Well, the boycott started in April. We get back to April, that 30% loss is going to become zero, or it's going to start to be a gain again, because then you're comparing to the boycott, not to pre-boycott. And as soon as that happens, the media, the left, everybody else is going to say, haha, Republicans can't keep a boycott going. They're going to lose. You know, we won, haha. So I do tend to agree with Tim. I think it's better to,
I think I do too.
To declare the victory now and say, hey, you know, the issue was they put money behind a message we don't like. Well, now they're putting a whole lot more money behind messages we do like. Take the victory. You don't have to buy the stuff again. It's piss water anyway.
I think some of the pushbacks I saw, because I don't really watch Tim Pool, but I did watch this other part of a segment on when he was discussing this, and in some of the pushback, I think it was fucking Ian Crossland or something, but sometimes a broken clock works. He was saying, well, what about people within that organization? Like, isn't it worth looking at to see, don't they still hate you? Don't they still have inclinations to do things against your message, behind your back, and in that circumstance, shouldn't it be destroyed? And the argument against that was, well, they're so big and they're actually not really political anyway. It's actually a case of they were ruined by ESG policies, which seem to be. Now, where do people stand with that? Because, like, well, where do corporations stand with that? Because I noticed there's a shift at the moment. It seems to be the Bud Light thing's moving away. There's other corporations saying, "Oh, like, what is it? Disney and shit are saying ESG's killing the company." What's happening with ESG? Is that over? Because that's the war.
No,
this is a little battle, and that's the war.
It'll just morph again in the next couple of years. I mean, it started off as DEI. Diversity, equity, inclusion. And
well, I mean, that's sort of separate, isn't it? Though, like, is
it's
that
not though?
It's not separate, but it's a separate initiative. It comes under the banner of ESG, but ESG is more of a corporate framework, whereas what did you say? DEI is more of a that's something that they put in through institutions and stuff like that, but the ESG is more of a corporate framework.
Well, DEI is kind of the praxis, whereas ESG is the theory. You know, ESG is the theory of like, oh, we're going to run our companies based off of all these social justice stuff and environmental stuff and all that. And DEI is how they put it into effect. You know, these companies all have vice president of diversity, equity, and inclusion and stuff like that. These are the actual positions that are created. It's kind of like the same argument in schools with the critical race theory. Like, that's what the left says. Oh, they're not teaching critical race theory in elementary school. It's like, no, they're not teaching the actual theory.
Because
But
there's
the
all these other.
teachers. Go ahead.
Go on. No, you go on.
But the teachers are buy into the theory, and through that they implement the praxis of critical race theory. They put it into practice, and
SEL and DEI and all of these different
exactly
fucking acronyms that they come
it's
up
all
with.
together. It's all together.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anything with 3 letters is generally not good. Whether it's a policy or a government agency or, you know,
they're not they're happy to go beyond 3 letters. You know,
that's true.
Look at the Wi-Fi password they got going at the moment. It's fucking crazy. Like no one knows what it is. It begins with a 2 in some countries, but not in others. Like figure that out. Anyway, I think we got a little bit off topic. Not that it matters.
We did.
But,
sorry, I came in.
No, we were doing it anyway. But what I was going to say, because we're talking about disclosure at the moment, UFO disclosure. What's your opinion before I continue on? Because I haven't showed any of this yet. So what do you think about disclosure?
I heard you ask why it's happening again this week, and I mean, I think that's pretty clear. The Hunter Biden indictments dropped. And anytime I see him talking about the aliens or anything like that, I go to like the 3rd page of the search results to try and figure out what's going on with Hunter or Joe.
So
it's all just a misdirection.
Yeah. So it seems like we're fairly on the same path. So okay, separate from like the public action that's being taken now, all of this hoo-ha, the hubbub, the reporting in the news. How do you personally feel about the notion of extraterrestrial life having visited Earth? Not that it exists, because I think most people have a Yeah,
I think it's happened, but I don't
Me
think what they're
too.
talking about is that.
Okay, so we're on
I'd way more buy into like the ancient aliens type thing, you know, the pre-flood civilizations and the Anunnaki and stuff like that. That seems more grounded in possibility than spacecraft flying around now. I mean, there's barely any real estate not on camera, and all we get is blurry garbage pictures.
And all we get lately is just stories. And like what you've just said is certainly how I feel about it. Like I believe in the notion of them existing, of course, and then have been here, like in the form of like ancient civilizations, like ancient times where they've like handed down technology or whatever. So it's not really the idea that they're presenting to me that I have an issue with. And insofar as that, what they're saying in terms of, well, aliens have come here, craft have crashed, and that the private aerospace industry is certainly hiding something with regard to that aspect of things. That I believe. That much I do believe. That's where my belief ends. I don't believe any of things. I don't believe David Grush, an intelligence officer for the government, on the television, sitting in front of fucking James Clapper, famous for lying under oath to Congress, while everyone says,
"Hey, not
David
wittingly.
Grush can't be lying under oath to Congress." I'm like, well, yes, he can.
Not wittingly, Daniel. Not wittingly.
Yeah, not wittingly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I put this out on it was like 7 minutes long because I was typing it out on Twitter. I did the voice thing, and it just went for like 7 minutes, and I just like, this is what I feel about it. I don't, and I mentioned James Clapper in there. I'm like, people lie under oath all the time. It happens like daily. It's just like, there's a few times on camera where we've seen it. It's famously happened, but it happens daily. Like people lie all the time in the fucking government. This guy, people like this are paid to lie to the government. So like,
well, see, I don't even know that he's lying. If you listen to his story, it's all, I know this guy who told me this. I know that guy who told me that. He could just be the fall guy. He could just be the patsy.
Right, but he's also lying. I think both is happening. I think he's being lied to, and he's lying to us. I think they've told him a certain amount of things that are false, because if push comes to shove and he eventually like tells people, he'll be telling the false shit anyway. And I think there might be an element of what he's saying that is true, and the rest of it isn't. So the element that is true is that there's aliens and that they've come here and that they've got craft. The rest of it's false. Every single other detail is false and manipulated in such a way that any investigation into what this man is saying will come up empty. There's people like Ross Coulthart that are saying, well, he personally knows of buildings outside the United States where the recovered craft are so large that they cannot be moved, so that they had to build buildings over it. He claims to know those locations personally, but he's refusing to tell us.
Why?
But they keep because he's protecting his sources. And he said, quote, the other day he says, quote, there could be like a J6 or storm the Area 51 scenario happening if I revealed the location. I'm like, so what's the problem with that? What's the issue?
Exactly. Good.
That's actually what we need. That's actually the one thing we require to answer this question once and for all. We need to see something. We can't just because you see, David Grushy is changing his story now. You know how you said like it's all about him saying that he knows people that have direct first-hand witness, like knowledge and hands-on with this stuff, not him. He even said in the thing under oath, not that means anything, but he said in the hearing, believe it or not, I haven't seen anything personally. So he's never seen anything. Now, in this interview that I'm about to play, he says that he was not in a position to say so then or since until now that he does have first-hand knowledge, but he didn't say he was a first-hand witness. He didn't say that. But he said it in such a way to make it sound like he was a first-hand witness. So now I trust him even less because he's being very shifty with his language. And like up until this moment, up until this interview, I was even starting to come around on him. Like I was even starting to think, maybe he's just telling the whole truth. I still don't believe he's been told the truth, but maybe he's just been completely truthful with us from what he's been told. Now I'm sliding firmly back into, no, he's actually lying. He's lying. And I think Fravor and Graves were truthful. They were truthful. However, they didn't really add anything to the story. All they did was gave commentary about stuff that we'd already seen years prior in the public domain. So I don't know. Yeah, I think they've been lied to as well, but they've got no reason to make shit up. I'll let you guys talk. What do you think, Cosmic? What do you think, Grifty?
I think this with the UAPs, just story just always in the news, and then trying to really make us buy into the fact that there's alien biologics that they've already recovered just makes me think that there's something quite off about the narrative they painted about UFOs or aliens all throughout maybe the last 50 to 100 years, ever since the Roswell crash. Whatever it is, they're not like gray aliens, like strictly from another planet, in my opinion. I think the biggest question is if they're like malevolent or benevolent, because the government already knows at this point. So that's kind of like what I want to know. It's if they are in contact with some kind of other entities, like what's the actual deal and what are they hiding?
Well, you could assume that they are benevolent, given that we're still here and we don't ever see them. That's an
like
assumption.
Demons, get into machine elves and other kinds of occult conjurings, in my opinion, once you get a little bit too far down the rabbit hole, like myself.
Hold on, but are you? That's okay, but that's sort of like a
interdimensional,
trying to ascribe a spiritual thing to extraterrestrial thing. Isn't that a crossing of the worlds? There is that like.
Well, that's what I want to know.
Because there are people like I was in a Twitter space all the way up until we went live. Like, because sometimes I listen to these things just for a laugh, but there's people saying, there's a big, and even Tucker Carlson was saying, like, there's a heavy spiritual aspect to this. And I think what he means by that is that it will shake the foundations of modern organized religion today, as we have it today. I think that's what he meant about it.
That would really tie in with Bluebeam kind of.
But I mean, that's,
I mean,
well,
it wouldn't shake the foundations. It would utterly uproot them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't buy into any creation story and then have intergalactic beings. Like the two just don't sync up.
There are people that have folded it in. There are people that have attempted to fold it into the he created them too. Just extend the net. It's actually not that hard to adjust for this, but they won't do it because it's not in canon. Like it's never been said before, so it's not like they're just going to turn around. They will have to, like the Pope will have to say, God spoke to me and he chose to reveal this only at this time for a reason or something,
And
which I could see them doing.
That. This Pope would do that.
He would do that. He would do that, but would people receive it?
Yeah, I mean, the God of Abraham's been pretty open with his people, if you think about it. Just based off of the stories of the book, you have three pillar religions in the entire globe that all claim to have spoken to God, to Yahweh, to whatever he is.
And none of them have mentioned.
And yeah, I mean, particularly like Islam, they talk about
Islam would be the one to
horse
look
chariots jumping through the sun and every other crazy thing that they want to believe in. But
the reason I want to say they'd be the one to look at is because they don't have a central authority over them hiding shit. Like if there's like more than 73 or 4 different sects of Islam across the world, and it's like they don't have a pope. They've just got they've got various different leaders, but they don't have one. So it's not heavily controlled like the other religions are, right? Because like what the other things, say the Pope could say, because there's a lot of stories about the hidden book of Enoch, the hidden book of Thomas. There's all these different stories that are missing, right? And why are they missing? One of them deals with like the how do I say it on YouTube? The graping of humans, of like the angels came down and did awful things to humans, like it. Yeah. Like there's that's supposedly hidden. All sorts of stuff that's hidden. So like they could say, well, there was mention of this stuff. It's just they took it out. It's sitting in the Vatican archives. Maybe it is.
I mean, before the God of Abraham, it wasn't uncommon for celestial beings to come down and have intercourse with humans. If you look at all what we call mythology nowadays, they were religion at one point in time, and it was commonplace through Greece and Rome and Mesopotamia and Egypt. All of the gods interacted plenty with people. So I don't know.
And there's also like UFOs and stuff in ancient Renaissance paintings and stuff like that. Like there's little hints of it throughout history. They're in hieroglyphs. So it's not like they haven't.
Are they? Have you seen them?
I've seen, like, not personally up front, but there's photographs of them. So I mean, but there's people that talk about them. There's people that have seen them that talk about them. I'm not inclined to call every single person a liar.
I don't know. I find that very suspicious.
We could keep going, like at a certain, like I know, but at a certain point, we always have to put something down to faith. We do trust that there is a moon there and that people have gone there, and not all of us, Some people don't. But like, you know, you do have to rely on we're not every individual on Earth we're not all frontiers of science. We're not all frontiers of anything. So we do at some point have to defer the knowledge to someone else. Like we have to trust that something's real. Now, I get when we've got highly contentious issues and there's like a random person has anonymously provided some photo that looks dodgy, then you can question that. But if like multiple angles of it show up, multiple people have seen it, gone there and gone on to talk about it, like you do at some point, there is a certain amount of evidence that crosses that threshold into this is almost certainly real. Now, whether it means anything or not,
I'm not saying those paintings don't exist. I'm just saying, like I have so much trouble believing my own eyes when it comes to photography and videography and everything else nowadays, because
it's real hard now.
It's like provable that they're faking stuff, or not even faking things, but selectively releasing information and
yeah,
you know, there's so many examples of this right in modern time, and to think it's been any better as you go back through history when the reporting to the masses was less available, you know,
right.
it was less prominent. You got one picture in a textbook and everybody's based off that. And if you go, you know, I've spoken to people who've been to Cairo and been to Giza, and
same.
Those things aren't on the obelisks and the external parts of the temple that you can actually go walk in. Like the little UFO hieroglyph is always somewhere that's only allowed to archaeologists or Egyptologists, and that to me
I don't trust a word Egyptologist ever say. Like if you're an Egyptologist, don't even say it. Like I don't even listen. Like because they're just fake. They're made to be fake. They're taught to be fake. They are fake. A lot of archaeologists are full of shit as well. A lot of them because they're just really stuck in their way and they're sort of all about consensus thinking. But you know, it's an interesting field nonetheless. But anyway, what was it going on about? This was a what is this fucking video? I'll have to play it now. Oh, it was the hill, but then there's another thing. Let's just play it.
You said that you believed that the United States government has killed people for trying to go public with a story. Really?
Those are concerns that certain scientists in the program that are known to me, you know, presented that to myself, but I did direct them to the appropriate authorities on that. That's something that I don't know firsthand. That's something they espouse, but because of the serious nature of that, you know, I directed them to the appropriate authorities, such as the Inspector General staff and law enforcement. So I can't speak to that because that's something that they espoused, and I directed them to the right authorities.
Other people were worried about that, not you.
I had some unique things happen in my personal life that, you know, were some of the causal factors for me to file a complaint, some things that my wife and I had noticed, some intimidation. I can't get into the exact nature. I did provide that information to the Inspector General, and hopefully they've referred it to appropriate federal law enforcement and counterintelligence personnel. But I can't discuss that publicly because of the sensitive nature of that for my own protection and for the integrity of the investigation.
Yeah, because if you
see anything that comes out of this area of his face is full of shit.
That one particular area right there.
Yeah. Because see how he's constantly mentioning the fucking Inspector General, the ICIG. It's like before he went on News Nation, everything was cleared before the ICIG, before he went through the fucking the UAP hearing, everything is always cleared through the ICIG. Why would they be all of a sudden on our side wanting to let us know stuff? Every single thing that comes out of this area there, that area, is full of shit. It's cleared by the government. Why would we why are we all of a sudden believing, oh no, I can't show that shit on
I was like, I don't think
Fucking
you
hell,
want to highlight
Dutch. I'm
that
just
one.
never showing your chats on the screen. I'm sorry, bro. Thank you for being here. The one thing I'm trying to put it up is about that. Fucking hell. Cosmic, you're encouraging him. Stop it.
What?
Because I'll get banned.
So, you were missed last night, John, at the final Waifu Cast Friday. They were saying you weren't.
Yeah,
in the
I missed
chat,
that too.
so.
I was watching Content House after hours. Did you see any of that? Obviously, you saw a little bit of it, right?
Yeah, I was popping in and out, switching back.
I
and
watched
forth.
about 30 something hours of it. It was crazy.
There was 2.5 people on stream there that I particularly care to listen to.
Yeah.
No offense.
No, that's fair enough. They were on mostly like the second day.
What kind of
Like the first
content
day.
house was it?
Chrissy
this?
Mayer got a house in the
Oh.
Poconos, and it was like her and Keanu and Zealand and Camelot. Can we talk about how wet Camelot's dick was?
He was. I mean, doesn't he have a girlfriend though? That's what they're
No.
saying. Oh, does he not? That's what someone
Not
was
that
saying.
I know of. I don't think he's the girlfriend type.
I didn't think so either. But that's what what was it? Ashton, someone was saying. Doesn't he have a girlfriend? And then they're all like, oh,
Oh, that would be devastating. He would lose like 30%
I think that'd be a
of his
win.
market.
Huh?
He'd lose like 30% of his demographic.
Oh yeah, if he had one, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be devastating.
Anyway, enough of that.
You really
Cool.
believe that the government has done that in the past with people who've tried to expose this UFO program. Why are you still alive? You've done more to expose it than anyone else.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I went public, and certainly I was shown that they can touch me at any time, and that's what led me not only contact my former agency.
Phrasing.
He's the head writer. He's the head writer of this bullshit.
He is?
Yeah, it's like 30 Rock. I bet you the CIA and all the UAP disclosure team just have a team of writers ready to go every day.
You guys stop doing that. They're UFOs.
Oh,
stop using their lingo.
They psyoped me.
They're alien bodies. They're alien specimens. They're not biologics. They're not UAPs.
They're demons.
Whatever they are, they're not the things they want us to call them. That's the other thing. That's the other thing that throws my alarms up is their programming language, which is what they always do when they're trying to direct a narrative.
Yes, they love to change definitions. I don't know why they departed from a like unidentified flying object. Maybe it's because
it's kooky.
But so is unidentified aerial phenomena, and it doesn't change the definition at all. It doesn't broaden it at all. It doesn't cover USOs. It doesn't cover any other domain. So it still describes that exact same thing. They literally just changed the words. My chat's flooded with jarts here. I don't know which ones I'm allowed to show because I don't have time to read them before I put them up.
Oh, John.
Also, Daniel says he does look kind of like a penis. This guy, yeah, he does. Choice of words there, man, that goes willing under his anyway.
Counterintelligence folks with what I witnessed, and I provided evidence to that fact, but filed the complaint. And certainly going public was the appropriate move for me for my own protection.
Tucker Carlson recently spoke with Redacted co-host Clayton Morris, saying he hasn't even told his wife that what he's learned on this elusive subject. Let's watch.
I don't believe that.
The second thing that bothers me is the UFO story. And, the more you dig into that and talk to people with actual knowledge of it, again, that's another story where there are some, fanciful ideas floating around that are just, there's no evidence that they're true. But if you talk to people who, have actual knowledge of it that they gathered themselves, there are parts of that story that I do not understand at all that are really, really, really dark. It's so dark that I haven't told my wife about it. I mean, I haven't verified any of this, but this is not just stuff that I read on the internet. I know you all are very, very grounded in that story, so I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But there's
I would know because I know all about it. No, he doesn't. This guy fucking reports. He's showing like videos from like 13 years ago that I saw when I was first like crawling the internet for shit of like UFO puppets being interviewed. People are asking about it today on Spaces.
I agree with Rohan there a little bit too. I think part of the whole UFO thing could be an op targeting Tucker, because Tucker
he's been on it for a long time too.
He's fully come out of the. Did you guys catch his interview with Jimmy Dore?
No, I didn't watch.
Tucker and Jimmy Dore
on Jimmy's show.
Correct.
I'll have to look for it.
Dude, I just watched it today. Of all of his interviews he's done recently, because he's been doing the tour. He's doing the circuit.
Right.
That one was fire. His interview with Jimmy Dore was on point.
I'm a little lukewarm on Tucker right now. I feel like he's kind of entering the space into where he's like controlling like limited hangouts almost, like kind of a more popular Alex Jones. I am. I'm trying to shit on everything.
Yeah, you take trust no one to the ultimate extreme.
Do you know what? It's fucking. Do you know how many times I've had egg on my face and he was right? So many times. So many times. Now, not every single time.
But I'm wrong sometimes too.
Of course, and as we all are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the least skeptical out of all three of us, and that's saying something, because
that's interesting that you're still on the same page on a similar page to me with this topic, and that's interesting to hear. You're like the least. I'm sort of in the middle, and he's the least.
Yeah.
Wait. He's the most skeptical.
He's the most.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, but like you are, not buying Elon Musk and all that, and I still think I think Elon means what he says. I think the task of cleaning up the code and weeding out the operatives and the enemies within the staff is a task that will take years, if it ever happens completely.
I don't believe
until he moves that headquarters out of San Francisco. You're never going to get a 100% cohesive workforce at X. So.
I cannot. There's no way I can trust Elon for what he says, because he does the opposite of what he says so frequently.
Like what?
And he says things that he knows, that I know that he knows are a lie. Blatant lies. Like, Tesla does more for the environment than any other company. Like, flat out. Like, more than... How? By making electric cars?
He has to say that.
How is that better for the environment than making regular cars? It's not.
He
and it never will be.
Say that as the CEO.
No, he does not. He doesn't have to bring that up. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to bring that. He doesn't have to invoke that as an argument about Twitter. He does not. He doesn't have to say those things. And why would he have to say those things? Can't he just say we make the best car?
No, because saying the opposite is kneecapping the stock prices, and the SEC
he doesn't have to mention it at all. He doesn't have to mention it at all. But he constantly uses it as, and it's not just that. He knows no one can go to Mars.
Why?
So much so that he never mentions it anymore.
Yeah, he does.
How often? When did he last mention it?
On the Space with Alex.
He taking humans to Mars. Then
Correct.
he's lying again.
Why?
They can't go. It's unsafe. It's been declared unsafe for humans officially. It's not happening.
Officially?
By
who?
NASA. And
because we trust the government.
We don't. They're the only authority that really has the ability to make such an observation. So you do have to at some point defer. And again, I'm not saying trust everything. They're hiding stuff, but they're also not really. NASA aren't they're not a military forefront of space exploration. That's not what they
decide
do.
if Pluto's a fucking planet.
Yes, they can, and they did. They decided it wasn't.
And then they brought it back.
When?
And then I think they axed it again.
When? No, they didn't. They made one decision once, and it was gone.
Neil deGrasse Tyson told them, and they were like, "Oh, black guy says something, we got to do it."
He was on the panel of like 20 people or something that made the decision.
I don't know. I don't trust anything NASA has to say. I trust private free market capitalism, space exploration over government mandated Stanley Kubrick films.
He lied about the fact that he bought Twitter for. He said he doesn't care about the financial cost. Doesn't care about the finances of it at all. Now,
no, he said he didn't care about.
He said
profit.
it several times.
He said he doesn't care about profit.
No, he said he doesn't care about the finance.
The profit. He doesn't care about making money.
He didn't use
off
that
of
word. He never mentioned that word, profit.
Yeah. Okay, but it's still got to operate.
But he said, this is why he says things that make no. I agree with you. It has to operate. Everyone that understands how a business works knows that it has to have enough revenue to run. He says shit that he knows is not true. That is another example. He's just gone. Every single thing he's done with X is just. I don't believe his intentions. I don't believe his motives. I don't trust him. He's given me no reason to trust him. He's never invented anything that didn't already exist. Nothing. Not one single thing.
PayPal.
What do you mean? He didn't invent that.
Yes, he did.
He invented it.
He's one of the founders of PayPal. Yes.
What about Tesla?
What about it?
He founded that too?
It's head and shoulders the best electric car manufacturer on the planet.
So it's his company. He founded it, did he?
He didn't found it. He bought it, I believe.
Right. So he bought that. And so what do you think he did with PayPal? Do you think he invented it?
What was it doing when he bought it?
The thing he made was Zip2. That's the one thing he made. Everything else was acquisitions and hiring. Everything. It's not possible for him to have achieved all this stuff.
Well, that's my thing.
Sure, but that's his skill, and everyone says he's this fucking genius that turns everything to gold. He doesn't. A lot of his shit goes under and fails completely, like disastrously. Most of it has.
Most
that's
businesses
fine.
do.
Yeah, sure, but like this guy, they make him out to be something that he's not. First of all, he's not the richest man in the world.
He's the richest man that you can calculate his fortune.
No, you can't. They're guessing. He doesn't even know how rich he is.
I mean, that's pretty fucking rich then. I know how much money I have at all times.
That doesn't describe someone's magnitude of wealth to me. That doesn't equate to them being. I mean, if you all you need to do is divest your wealth into certain amount of stocks and certain shares, and then all of a sudden you don't know how much money you're worth at any given moment because you don't have that liquid cash. You don't,
right.
And
absolutely, I agree with
that. So
that.
you could be worth 10 billion or 150. You could, you still don't know how much you're worth.
Probably both in the same day, like depending on how the stock market goes.
Oh, yeah, sometimes, yeah. Like especially with people like Elizabeth Holmes, she went from 9 billion to 0 in a minute.
Right.
Because her money didn't mean anything, and neither does Elon's, and it's not even the most that anyone's ever had or ever will have.
Can I let you in on a secret?
Go on.
No fiat money means anything.
Yeah, well, it does when it yeah, okay.
It's all fake.
It's true. It's all fake, but like it doesn't mean it's fungible. It's fungible. It's tender. It's legal tender as we speak. So we've got. You can use crypto, but not everyone's taking it. So fiat's all we've got. I don't think Elon Musk is a thing that we're ever going to agree on. I don't believe he invented PayPal. I don't believe he invented really half of the things that have come under his name. I just don't. I never used to have a problem with him.
That in and of itself is impressive as hell. Of all let's just say he's a venture capitalist. Let's just say he literally has
I wish people would just say that.
Okay, but if I give you that for the sake of argument and say he has no directional effect on any company that he acquires,
well, that would be stupid.
We still have to look at the companies he has acquired, and they are some of the largest companies ever known to the human race. And they got that way after he acquired them. Yeah.
Like, go on.
SpaceX. You don't think
Largest
SpaceX
company...
is one of the largest companies ever? It's going to take one flight that he does where he takes people out into space and takes them past the moon and brings them back, and they land safely. And it doesn't matter how many crash. It doesn't matter how many explode. It doesn't matter any of that. The minute that first flight goes around the moon and comes back with people on it, it's the most valuable company in the world.
When's that?
I don't know.
Not today.
It's getting pretty close. Who else has landed rockets on a ship?
Blue Origin's getting fairly close, but he's not the same caliber as SpaceX. I'll give him that. But again, I wouldn't call it the biggest company that's ever existed. What else has he done? Because I don't accept that one. But
Tesla.
I'll get.
Have Tesla, you been in a Tesla?
Yeah, I hate them. They're disgusting. They're shit cars. They are terrible. They're bad for the environment.
God, no, they're not.
They're terrible. They're ugly. They're fucking stupid. There's better cars. There's way better cars.
A 67 Chevelle, with straight pipes and burn it, carbureted, with that smell. That's a better car. But performance-wise, there's nothing.
Better performance cars.
No, there's not.
All right.
The thing has the fastest 0 to 60 time ever.
He vastly overstates the success of Tesla as well. I don't think he says they're so super popular in China, even though they're banned in all of the major trading cities. He never mentions
I just
that.
know I see more and more and more of them on U.S. roads every day.
Because people are fucking stupid and they think they're helping the environment when they're not. Because he says dumb shit like that does when it doesn't.
People don't care about the environment. The people who care about the environment are living in the environment. They're in the rainforest trying to save it. They're out, doing the what is it, the whale, like the people who hunt down the whalers and stuff. Those are people who actually give a shit.
Oh yeah, they're the people that actually mean what they say, but most people aren't that. People that
everyone
are
else
usually
just wants a
virtue
bumper
signalers,
sticker and a
but there's
status
so many
symbol.
virtue signalers that think that they're doing they think that they're paying, they can pay their way into having a conscience. So they pay into something that they think someone else has done the work for the environment for. And they get this car and they think, I've done my bit. I drive a electric vehicle and I fill the cunt up at the electric station every time, which comes straight from a fucking fossil fuel grid.
Yeah. We just don't disagree on him. I don't think he's perfect by any means. I think there's probably major ulterior motives than what he says publicly. But
Daniel's I'm with Griffey on this one. Teslas are pretty nice, but I'd never buy one. But they're pretty nice. If I had that kind of money, I'd buy a classic Caddy.
Cadillac.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that could our difference on Teslas could literally be the difference of an American versus an Aussie. I don't know how common they are in Australia, but they're
becoming more common. They are becoming more common, but they're not. they're not something you see in Sydney. You see them a lot, but outside of the city, never ever.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, that's because you guys don't have the charger infrastructure yet. It took them a decade to build the charging infrastructure to make them usable in the US.
Yeah. More problems for the environment.
Like I'm not an environmentalist, like at all.
I'm not either, but if they're claiming to be, I'm going to hold them to the fire on it, and they're nowhere close. They're not even anywhere close, and they market their product to people as if it is.
I mean,
as a solution.
He has the best battery tech out of anybody.
Made by Panasonic, isn't it?
No.
How does he get away with the cobalt mines then? So Elon Musk has his signature on the documents that say there will be no artisanal miners for cobalt that go into Tesla batteries.
No.
So he hasn't signed that.
I mean, I honestly I can't answer either way on whether he signed that or not, but I don't care.
As far as I understand,
that's one thing. I don't care.
As far as I understand, Panasonic manufactures the batteries for Tesla, and that's how he gets away with not being involved in the cobalt problem.
Manufactures is not designed.
Okay, so he hasn't really got a breaking.
The batteries are Tesla proprietary knowledge because he then turned around and open sourced them.
Yeah, but like again, is it how this is becoming an Elon Musk episode? But
I know we can move off. I didn't mean to open a can of worms.
It's partly my fault because I keep biting because I fucking hate this cunt. Like I hate him. Like I think he's a dickhead and he's a liar. He's a snake oil salesman, and I wish people would fucking wake up to this shit. His batteries aren't so he doesn't have his name on the manufacturer of the battery that way. Do you know why? Because he doesn't have to have his name on the fucking cobalt disaster, which is a disaster. It is a disaster. And because 80% of it comes from artisanal miners, which are children in the Congo that die in pits full of
dying before the cobalt mines. Now they can eat a little.
Now
bit
they're dying
before
quicker and faster and in higher numbers than ever because they're all stuck in fucking cobalt. Okay,
I don't buy they die in higher numbers than ever.
In this fucking cobalt,
no one across the world is dying
in
higher numbers than ever.
What were they
doing?
Maybe I'm not suggesting they didn't have a difficult life. I didn't not suggesting they didn't have a difficult life, but if you're putting it, Eamon Daniel screaming to that void for weeks, this is what John Arch agrees with me. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
I was gonna say, love you, John.
He revolutionized the battery, and that's how they are cheap as they are. That's just about mass manufacture. That's I don't know if that's revolutionizing anything.
I haven't heard of any. Part of my pride in Tesla is it's the biggest American car manufacturer right now.
Why is he so up China's ass? Why does he just love China so much? Why does he carry water for them so much?
Because it's the largest market on the planet, and he's a capitalist.
Which his car is banned from all their fucking major cities.
So, do you know how many rich Americans are buying them? He don't care about the car.
So why is he so
wants to manufacture it?
Anyway, let's go back to UFOs.
Some stuff there that's just like, man, I'm not even sure what that means. There's a spiritual component there that I don't fully understand. So yes, that story bothers me. And I think last thing I'll say that one of the reasons that we've had all these disclosures and all these 10 whistleblowers at this point, and it hasn't really become front page news. Part of it's suppression. Parts of the government don't want you to know about it, but part of it is the public can't deal with it. It's too far out.
But some are critical of this particular exchange, saying Morris and Carlson never provide evidence, sources, or a reason for withholding that information.
Exactly.
All right. So let's maybe go with the Grush stuff.
Right. So Grush is saying that he knows people who felt threatened for trying to come forward with information, or even that people were killed for doing so. And Elizabeth Vargas said, okay, but that's not necessarily based on your experience. And then Grush said, well, obviously he hasn't been killed. He's alive. He's testifying, but he did fear he had fears for his for safety or for some kind of harassment based on what he's doing.
But based on what he's experienced, he said, they've shown me they can touch me. They've shown me that they know how to touch me in my life.
Well, he might be referencing the fact that there was a lot of negative reporting about him, actually, that The Intercept did. We talked to Ken Klippenstein about it. It was Ken's reporting on his history of I think it was
alcohol
substance abuse, that kind of thing. So he might mean that they tried to delegitimize me. They tried to smear my reputation for speaking up.
First of all, if that's what he's crying about, they said, oh, sometimes he likes to have a drink. How is that not like endearing to him? Like, doesn't that just endear him to everyone else who also does that? He's trying to claim that, like, they tried to take me out because they said I had a drinking problem once. Like, dude, we all have one now. Like, what's the problem? The world's fucked. Who doesn't? That's his.
My problem is I can't drink more.
Exactly.
That's my drinking problem.
I don't really drink, but like everyone has a thing. I don't know. I'm just reading through these messages to see if I can. No, I can't show that.
Which is not.
Do you think that's the same? I mean, not at all to minimize the kind of coercive power of doing something like that. And certainly the government has demonstrated
it has tremendous coercive
power. And the government has shown its willingness to do that in a million different ways, sending threatening letters to Martin Luther King, wiretapping him, all that sort of thing. So I credit that. At the same time, that wasn't exactly the question, right? What Vargas was pushing him on is this idea that his life has been threatened and that other people's lives have been threatened to the point of actually killing them.
Who's doing the threatening and who's doing the killing?
And where and who is it that has been apparently killed by the government? That's a very serious charge. I mean, we up until this point have been talking about a hunt for potential alien spacecraft and alien bodies. Should this be a manhunt for human beings that have been killed because of knowing too much about
I want to know
program?
what agencies are responsible, and then we need to hold them accountable if it is the case, or we need to investigate them and find out it's BS.
And he says, I pointed them to the proper authorities, but
the authorities are the ones doing this. You're saying so. What isn't the proper authority? Sunlight disinfectant. We need to know at some point. You're going to be. You're not saying they're already out from your perspective. Your claim they're already out to get you and your people for having this information. Isn't you need to get it out there?
Yes, and he says that about himself again when Vargas.
I don't know how much more interesting this gets. I don't know if it's even worth going further into, but
yeah, I mean, the fact that they act surprised that the government might kill people, like, kind of discredits them in my mind.
Like Bill Cooper, anybody?
Estee. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on YouTube anymore, so I'll say it in Pig Latin. Estee Ichre.
Oh yeah. Got it.
Do you know Bill Cooper was a bit of a crazy guy though? What's the story about killing him?
They showed up to his house allegedly. Like somebody was claiming he was going through like a mental health crisis, and he was very paranoid about the FBI and the feds coming to get him. So they showed up kind of in force, and he may have had a gun or may not have had a gun, but they killed him at his home in Arizona.
What's the motive?
Is that old guy?
Yeah, he wrote Build a Pale Horse.
They just recently killed?
No, this was in 2000.
Yeah, it was a while ago now.
2001 even.
He was somewhat of like a conspiracy theory hero. Like
he was calling Alex Jones controlled opposition since the 90s.
Do you think Alex Jones is controlled opposition?
Yes, 100%.
Really?
100%.
How else is he able to come back on every social media platform after having an unprecedented hundreds of billions of dollars a lot? That's
not every.
Not every. That whole thing screams CIA Fed operation.
Not every.
Even the trial itself.
It's only Rumble, really, isn't? And now Twitter, because he got bullied into it, but he wasn't gonna let him back on.
I'm just saying.
No, it's not Twitter. It's Rumble. He's on Rumble. He's part of the Rumble. Let him back on.
He's also
Twitter
on Twitter.
Didn't want a part of
him.
But they platformed him when no one else would. Well, they they platformed him when no one else would. They did it. They were the ones that stepped up for that for Alex Jones, not Twitter. Twitter said no to him for over and over and over again until they couldn't anymore because he was getting too much flack for it. Elon wants to be popular.
Advertisers already backed out.
Well, yeah. What's he floating the company with at this point? If that's 90% of the revenue, we're going back into Elon. But what's he going to float the company with?
My $16 a month.
Really? So he thinks between your 16 and my $35 a month, by the way, 35, not 16. He's gonna like make up that money. Do you know Grok is a piece of shit? I've used it. It's a toy. It's a fucking toy, and it lies to you. It
Grok
lies to
is
you.
shit.
I can
Grok is
prove to
shit.
you that it lies. Like I asked it, tell me about who am I? It says I don't have access to your personal info. I'm just an assistant. And I just asked it over and over again. Well, how? Okay, so then I'm like, how do you do the roast me?
That's if you put
You have to type in your handle.
Yes, but the issue isn't the knowledge base of. There's plenty of issues with Grok. I was one of the first ones tweeting out like the woke shit that Grok was putting out. So
Yeah.
I'm not defending it here by any means. But you can't use possessive pronouns like I because it's not tracking the user.
It is if you ask it to.
No. You
just ask it to track the user and it will do it.
Your query
just type in
proves
the
that it
answer.
won't.
But I worded it differently and it did.
How did you word it?
Typing in the handle.
Right. So that's not tracking the user because you could do the
It
same
is if
thing
you just
for
ask
my
it to.
No, but you could do the same thing for my handle and it will give you the same answer it would give me if I typed my handle. So it's not tracking who's inputting.
I'm not asking if it's tracking my
commands.
personal data as a secret. I'm saying, does it have access to it? It said no so many times before providing me proof that it did.
It doesn't, though.
How does it answer the questions then?
Because it doesn't know it's you.
Doesn't matter if it doesn't know it's me or not. It knows who that handle is.
Twitter. It's knowledge that it tracks Twitter. Like
I don't
Elon's
think
made
you
that very
understand
clear.
I don't think you understand
what
my query is. My query is, does it have access to tweets and the information that people tweet?
Yes.
It said no. And it does. You just have to ask it in a special way. That's the only barrier.
No. It does not
Does or
track
doesn't access to the tweeted.
your conversations with it. It does not store that.
Yes, it does. I asked it. It does. I asked it and it said it does.
It stores.
Could be lying.
There's a difference between incorporating your conversation into the LLM versus tracking it as your conversation with it.
I don't care if it's. You think I'm saying is I'm not suggesting it's painting a profile of me. I'm saying that information, if someone was to ask for it, is accessible through Grok.
Right. And no one's ever said it isn't.
Grok did.
What did you ask it?
I said, do you have access to the tweets that we use, that we tweet? I've got the screenshots saved somewhere. I can't remember where I've saved them, though. I did save them, though. Anyway, this keeps sliding off into it, Elon.
I know. I'm sorry.
Grok is shit. It's a toy. It's never going anywhere. And if he thinks that's going to be the value add for Premium Plus, he's dreaming. It doesn't remove ads. It doesn't heighten your visibility in replies or anything. I remain just as shadow banned as I ever was. Nothing has changed. And I still get ads. I still get ads in the For You and following section. I've reported it to them and they said they'd fix it, but they haven't. So, and the Grok thing is just a toy. So there's no point for people to upgrade. People will be figuring that out pretty soon. But anyway,
I mean,
I
I
think
upgraded to support the platform.
I upgraded so I could shit on Grok. I've already cancelled it. I wanted access to it so I could shit on it, then leave, which I've done. I've cancelled the thing, but I've still got access till the 30th. So I'm going to shit on it more until. But I think this episode is basically done now anyway. We're like an hour and a half in. I didn't think we'd get too far into this conversation.
I'm
I
sorry.
No, it's all right. I really just wanted to get an episode down. It's my fault that I went into Elon Musk so much because I kept fucking. It's my fault because I hate the cunt.
Everybody should listen to Cosmic. He's got the gift of foresight and predicted this turning into a shit show when it was said.
We didn't even ask him what he thought. What do you think of Elon Musk?
He just sat back. He was just watching. But
Elon? What do I think of Elon? I don't have any positive opinions on any of these social media barons. I view him as another Mark Zuckerberg who probably had some seed money to help create or help get Twitter to the point where it's at on the back end, and now he's trying to do an about face and be like he's in favor of liberating people on the town square. I like Twitter. I shit on people on Twitter. It's fun. I don't take him too seriously.
Way better than before he bought it.
I'm not convinced of that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of people that he brought back, and that's good. But I won't say that it's just as easy to get back. It maybe in the last couple of months it's been.
I was gonna say no way.
Fans,
I've kept a Twitter account for a year. Like that never happened before Elon bought it.
Yeah, but you're judging it just based on, have you spoken to literally anyone else? Like, there's so many people that are getting banned constantly. Camelot got banned. Fucking people get banned for sharing fucking memes. It's happening today. It's happening. So it's a problem.
I didn't say it was perfect. I said it's better.
I don't see it being better. That's not my experience. It's not my experience. One thing that is better, I don't get that. Are you sure you want to say this anymore? I don't get that. I don't get that thing anymore. Are you sure? Most people don't tweet like this, and it's like, well, I think they do.
Still get it occasionally when I use the R word.
Really?
Yeah.
You still it's still in the code.
Yeah. Certain things.
Okay, I removed that fucking point. That's
certain things. I've gotten it within the last week for calling someone retarded Ray.
Well, that's stupid. It's stupid. It shouldn't be there.
But to be fair, you were saying you haven't seen a boost since I upgraded to the $16 from the $8. I've noticed a significant boost. I've gained 30 followers in the last 3 days.
Yeah, but I was gaining about that as
I
it
wasn't
was anyway.
I was stuck at like 2380 from the Eliza saga. Couldn't move.
Yeah, you probably find it's due to something else.
I'd gain 10, I'd lose 10. I'd gain 20, I'd lose 20. Nonstop. Ever since I upgraded, it just keeps going up. Which isn't right. At the end of the day, I'm not a huge fan.
Have you looked at your analytics, though? Have you looked at your analytics?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, dude. I watch my analytics like crazy. I've had some banger tweets. So
yours has gone up since premium specifically.
Correct.
Premium
yes.
Plus. And mine hasn't. So we've got 50-50 at the moment.
Yeah.
And I
don't know how much your government has a play in it too. Because at the end of the day, he's been very transparent that he abides by the rules of the government in the country of the user.
Yeah, but we're not North Korea.
Really?
Yeah, really. I mean, we've done some stupid things, and that's why I want to get out of here. But it's not like we do have an internet filter, but it's just child porn and stuff like that. Excuse me. CP. Can I fucking even say that on YouTube? I don't know. Sorry.
I don't. You're far enough into this stream that you can pretty much say what it's like the first 30 minutes that are real sensitive.
Whatever.
Of a stream.
We'll see. If you I'm not monetized yet because I'm going to close this up. I'm not monetized yet, so if anyone wants to fucking donate, please give me money at not that one, this one, danielclancy.live/donate. If not, then that's fine too. But yeah, I was just going to shut it up now because it's getting really hot in this room, and I got to turn this fucking air conditioner on. But yeah, sorry everyone. This was not really like a properly organized episode, but thank you guys for coming on. I'm sorry I'm just like screaming at you guys the whole time. But
no, you're good. I had fun.
It was good to have this. I'm actually doing like next week. I'm gonna be here. It'll be the 23rd of December. It'll be Christmas Eve here, but it'll be the 23rd of December there. I'm not sure. I'm gonna do like a Christmas episode. I don't know what it's gonna be about. Anyone's welcome to join me, but I'm guessing everyone's gonna be probably busy. So we'll see how it goes. But see you guys on the 23rd. And where can we find you guys, Grifty?
Catch me on Twitter at GriftyIRL, or you can catch me on the Rumbles at Grifty. But I don't stream very often. I'm trying to, hopefully going into next year, I got some renovations getting ready to start at my house. I'm getting a dedicated office space, and making some room for the new baby that's coming in June.
Yeah, nice. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, man. Gotta keep pumping them numbers. This will be number 4. Daniel, yeah, I don't do them regularly. I will hop on and guest with people when I can, and I need to. I really need to. I don't intend to give this up. I really intend to build from it, but it's just, if you guys could actually see where I'm sitting right now, I'm literally in my laundry room. So anytime when
it looks pretty good from the laundry room.
Well, I appreciate it, but yeah, anytime the family's up, it's almost impossible for me to set up. So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And Marauder, whereabouts we catch you, bro?
You can find me on Rumble. My channel's called Cosmic Radio. I host the Cosmic Show once a week with my buddy Mars Bars, and you can find me on Twitter, Last Analog Hero, at FreeJerry88.
Cool. And you can catch me at Daniel Clancy. It's there in my little handle below my face there. On Twitter, you can catch me, Daniel Clancy, on pretty much every platform. If you are confused, you can just go to danielclancy.live and find everything there. And I will see you guys on the 23rd. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.